If you've been thinking about moving to the UK, you're not alone. Although the immigration rate is expected to decline, in 2019 alone, more than 600,000 people moved to the UK. For various reasons and visas, of course, and if your question is how, today we'll be exploring all the popular options available for you to move to the UK in the year 2021. My name is Poppy, and if you're interested in the content of moving and living in the UK and life in London, then the subscribe button is right there. First and foremost, it is probably worth mentioning that certain Commonwealth countries do have more visa options available to them, which is great news. For some Commonwealth citizens, you can apply for right to abode, which simply means you can apply to come to the UK if you have a parent who were British citizen at the time of your birth, and you yourself has also been a citizen of the Commonwealth since December 1982. Another option for Australian and New Zealand citizens is ancestry visa. This visa is for you if you have a grandparent who was born in the UK, and the same with the previous one we mentioned before. You yourself has also have to have continuously been the citizen of the Commonwealth in order to be eligible to apply. Now, if you're young, aged between 18 to 30, oh, you lucky people, and also come from these certain countries, then you should be able to apply the Tier 5 Youth Mobility Visa. This visa will allow you to live and work in the UK for the period of 2 years. So that's the only downside of it, which is it's not a very long time. So when the 2 years is up, then you have to apply for another type of visa. Now, if you're someone who's still pursuing education, Tier 4 student visa is your best bet. It is relatively easy to get as long as you get accepted in the university and have the financial means to afford the fees. You're also allowed to work up to 20 hours a week on this visa, which is a big plus. Similar to many visa regulations though, the student visa can only be issued on certain courses only, so make sure that you do your research and apply for the courses those are eligible, obviously. Another bonus is that once you finish your study, and if you're able to secure an employment in the UK, to switch from student visa to work visa, you can apply within the UK, so you don't have to leave the country, which is additional bonus. Well, we might as well talk about work visa next. Now, in the UK, for the company to sponsor you visa, the company has to be listed as a licensed sponsor, and there is also a minimum salary requirement that the company will have to give you in order for you to be qualified for this visa. Now, I have to say that prior to Brexit, these requirements only applied to non-EU citizens. However, after January 2021, any EU citizens who are considering coming to work in the UK will have to adhere to some of these requirements as well. And for the reasons that I've mentioned, this visa is going to be a bit more difficult to get than the student visa due to the costs and legality that the company has to be involved in, especially in the climate after the Actually, there's another thing that I want to add when it comes to work visa. Although this visa sounds very difficult to get, however, it is not entirely impossible. If you go through the list of licensed sponsor companies, there are over 200 pages of these companies, so there are actually loads of companies that you can reach out to. And a lot of companies will be happy to sponsor you if they like you and if they like what you can bring to the table. So bottom line is, don't be discouraged. What I would recommend is to look for the job that is also in the shortage occupation list. That way you have more chance in securing a job in the UK. I'll leave all the links in the description, of course. Now, if you're a bit minted and have a bit of spare money to invest or start a business in the UK, then the Tier 1 investor visa is a great option. There are, of course, other visa subcategories under the Tier 1 visa, such as the innovators visa and startup visas, but these two can be really difficult to get because they will require you to come up with something that is somewhat groundbreaking. Hence why I'm only mentioning the investor visa, because all it requires, really, the main requirement is money. Well, a lot of money. Now, I know this visa is not going to be for everyone, but if you're one of those people who found the love of your life and that person just happened to be British, then the spousal visa is the most viable option for you to get. Due to the popularity of this visa though, there has been some recent requirement changes that makes this visa a lot tougher than it used to be, such as the controversial 18,600 minimum requirement to sponsor someone to come to the UK as your spouse. spouse, or the length of the visa itself, which has been extended from 2 years to 5 years until the applicant can apply for a permanent resident. Some of you may know that I am married, and this is the option that we went for because it was the easiest option available to us given our existing circumstance. Once again, I want to leave a special note for an EU citizen. So after January 2021, if you want to come to work to the UK, you are going to having to follow almost identical route for a work visa for a non-EU citizen, which means you are going to need a company to sponsor your visa. The company will have to be a licensed sponsor list, and you are going to have to earn a certain level of salary in order to be qualified for this visa. The government has called this a point-based system, but from what I've read, it is almost identical to a work visa for a non-EU citizen. So just bear that in mind. Now, which visa do you think is the most suitable for you? Let me know in the comments. But before making any decision at all, please do make sure that you do your research very carefully before you decide on going for any of these. Also, if your goal is to stay in the UK for a long time, then another thing that you may want to check is what is the route of getting a permanent resident status for each of the visa category that we've talked about today. For me, for spousal visa, for example, it would take me 5 years of living in the UK until I can get a permanent resident. And before this 5 year comes, I can basically get kicked out of the country if anything goes wrong. Another thing to take into consideration is the costs of the visas, because they can be really pricey. Again, I'll give you an example based on my spousal visa. At the date of application, there will be upfront costs, and the visa was renewed every 2.5 years, and every 2.5 years renewal, the cost will be right around a couple of £1,000 mark. And guys, that is before we can even start talking about British citizenship. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care of yourself. ขอบคุณค่ะ Bye.